Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls, New Game Plus. Today, we shall be defeating Sif the Great Wolf. I have been known to have some problems with him in the past, but what's the worst that could happen? In all seriousness though, folks, Sif is quite a bit easier the second time through, ironically, on New Game Plus than he was in New Game. This is mainly because depending on when you fought him in New Game, you probably didn't have very good gear. I know I didn't. And New Game Plus, you pretty much have whatever you want, so it's a lot easier. The main thing to have is a decent shield, if you're going to do what I'm going to do here. It doesn't have to be the Great Shield of Artorias. It helps, but as long as the shield has around, I don't know, 75, 73 stability, you'll be just fine, don't worry. As long as you have a decent amount of stamina to go with it. If you watch my Dark Souls Let's Play, my strategy is basically completely different. My strategy last time was to wait for one specific move and punish him for it. This time though, I'm the aggressor. Get in there, block. As you can see, it doesn't really take a whole lot of stamina whenever he hits me, so it's actually quite easy. It seems kind of stupid, but with Sif, you really want to get in tight and get in there fast. He has a definite range advantage unless you use a bow or rely on spells, but even for spells, that's kind of pushing it. Personally, I wouldn't really recommend using a bow or spells because he can close the distance very fast whenever he wants to, but that's up to personal opinion, I suppose. The general consensus for Sif is to have a nice, quick weapon, as per the usual in boss fights, so whenever you are in here, you don't have to try and time it and get out of the way and hope he doesn't counterattack. But if you're a person that prefers not to use a great shield, doesn't want to use a shield, thinks it's too easy, you can easily get inside if you're good at rolling and timing your rolls. I'm very poor. Right there, that's when you want to roll. You want to roll underneath that and get a quick hit on the front wall. Depending on how good you are at rolling, though, that can really hurt, if not outright kill you, so it's pretty much up to you. I like the safe route, though, personally. Something about that 3 or 4 minute run back every time kind of annoys me, but hey, if you want to risk it, be my guest. The only thing you really don't want to use against Sif is a spear or something that pokes at him. Slashing weapons giving a wide arc in front of you are generally best. I also believe fire actually works pretty well on Sif. I personally never used it, but I've read and they say he's vulnerable to it, so that's always an option for you. If you are ranged, basically whenever he does his double swipe right there, you have to try and get yourself out of the first swipe, make sure you're out of range for the second swipe, and then cast or shoot your bow, whatever you do there. But it's kind of difficult to do it. I've tried it. Believe me, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. One thing you may want to keep in mind, though, if you actually want help from phantoms, it's not generally recommended to try and get help on this boss because you have to be human. And this is kind of the PvP hotspot, so unless you know somebody, you're pretty slim chances of getting somebody to actually help you with Sif. They're probably going to want a PvP, but that's just a heads up, really. If you do want to try and summon somebody, I recommend going to the bridge. It's generally where the PvEers go, where someone who's actually going to kill Sif. This is where if I want to help somebody kill Sif, I put my sign. Just be prepared to be invaded, though, if you do try and summon somebody, and probably your best bet is try and bottleneck them at the bridge. But anyway, back to the fight here. Sif really doesn't have all that many attacks. He has his double swipe, he has his 3-hit swipe, he has his charge, and I think he can also link an attack in on his charge. The only other thing he has is his jump back swipe. Basically, once you learn how to avoid these, the fight really isn't all that difficult, and that's saying a lot coming from me, trust me. It basically all comes down to your shield. If you have a very good shield, the fight really isn't that bad, but if you try and do this early in the game, you're probably going to have a bit of a struggle. But on New Game Plus, it's really not that bad. And of course, for us that hate Sif out there, we all love when he starts limping, but I'm sure the dog lovers out there are going, oh, you're awful. But hey, I had a lot of trouble with Sif, and I'm always glad when that happens. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Praise the sun. And I hope you guys can kill him as easily as I did here. So, see you guys later.